Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Preston. I'm here today to talk a little bit about the 980 series of high torque top entering mixer drives manufactured by Lightnin, a part of SPX Flow Mixing Solutions. I've been a member of Lightnin for 30 years, currently serving as the market manager in the chemical process industry. And my goal is to try to explain some of the features and the benefits of this high torque mixer drive so that you can apply it in your day-to-day plant operations. A couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. As an audience member, you won't have any audio or video capability. Please use the Q&A feature that will post your question for after the presentation. I will answer as many as I can. If we do not get a chance to answer your question, my contact information will be shared, and would be happy to communicate afterwards and get those questions answered. All right, so let's get started with a discussion on the 980 series, a mixer as tough as the industries it serves. But first, before we do that, a little information on the SPX brands. SPX Flow Mixing Solutions is a worldwide organization, largest mixing company in the world. And within the corporate umbrella are 5 different brands: the Lightnin mixers, Philadelphia mixers, Plenty mixers, Stelzer, and Utechnique. These brands represent a wide range of mixing applications across the process industries, including minerals and mining, biotechnology, paints and coatings, other chemical processes, nutrition and health fields. We have 4 labs across the globe doing fundamental research and developing new mixing technologies for our clients through testing and targeted development in the labs to improve processes. We also strive to make every day Earth Day. In Rochester, where our Mixing Innovation Center is, we have a building management system that controls temperature and lighting to lower energy waste. Another fun fact, over 50% of our more than 400 patents are related to sustainability and clean technology. And finally, much of our mixer research is to promote equal or better process results with less installed power, thus reducing the electrical demand. The Philadelphia Advanced Pitch Propeller, shown here on the right, is the latest development in that pursuit of efficiency. So jumping into our agenda, we'll talk about the 980 series, where it may be used, the features, the assembly, specifications, interchangeability, load testing, and some aftermarket options. For an introduction, the 980 series is a parallel shaft gearbox. It delivers a robust design and advanced technology in customizable features, whether that's the seal that gets used in a process environment or the way that the motors are mounted vertical instead of horizontal. And it is a high torque drive, so applications in many different markets and industries are all possible for this mixer drive. As I said, a variety of different applications. The ones that you should think about in the different market areas for chemicals, polymer reactors, fermentation, and hydrogenation. For the waste and water market, aerators and digesters. For oil and gas, alkylation and ethoxylation are opportunities for this drive. And then finally, in mining and minerals, autoclaves and leaching environments are also very possible for this mixer. Some of the features and the benefits of this product is its efficient design. So it's not just efficient from a power standpoint, it's also efficient in footprint and space. The parallel shaft design and the vertical motor allow you to fit the gearbox and its seal pedestal, if there is one, in a smaller mounting structure, which gives you more flexibility across the top of your tank. It is compatible with all sorts of different open and sealed tanks. So it can be mounted on beams, it can be mounted on a plate, it can be mounted on a flange. So you can be ensured that it will fit wherever you need it to. It's certified for safety and is able to be used in both explosion-proof and ATEX environments, so that it is okay for normal safe areas and also in all hazardous environments. A very durable construction of the gearbox and the internals, combined with a true dry well, which is part of the last presentation I did, ensures that there's no contamination of lubrication and you're protecting your product integrity by not leaking any lubricant down the low-speed shaft. The gearing is all AGMA quality 10. It ensures quiet operation, extended life, and low noise. And then finally, the lubrication for this gearbox is done with a integrated pumping system with a flow switch that protects the gearbox from any failures of lubrication that would result in costly and extensive repairs. The assembly of the gearbox, pictured here, is quite interesting because we were able to allow the low-speed gearbox mounting feet to duplicate the 700 series of horizontal reducers, that assembly. So if you needed to replace a 700 series, this 980 series would drop right in. There is, as I mentioned, a standard shaft-driven pump with internal piping and an external flow switch for lubrication with protection. All of these units are double reduction, all helical design, and there is a very significant amount of speed availability based on using 4, 6, and 8-pole motors. The shaft fan, pictured in yellow here, is standard for the lubrication system mentioned. And both the solid and hollow quill output shafts are available. The solid shaft is for open tanks, and that's what's pictured here. The hollow design is for sealed reactors, and the shaft would then slide through the gearbox, and you would be able to change the seal or do other maintenance you need to while the mixer was still mounted on top of the tank. And finally, there is an optional external lubrication system with a heat exchanger for a belt and suspenders approach to lubrication, where the application might be just critical or fail-safe, and you can't have any lubrication issues with the unit. Some of the specifications of these, the 980 series, you can see that the 980, 981, 983 range from about 175 horsepower or 130 kilowatts, all the way up to 400 kilowatts or 525 horsepower in a RPM range of 20 to 125 for output speed. These are suitable for both 50 and 60 hertz design operations, so it can be used globally. And the certifications are NEC explosion proof and IEC ATEX type designs. So in addition to having safe area designs that require no certification, these can be used in XP and ATEX applications. And then finally, mounting options, as we said, it could be mounted on an open tank. It could incorporate a stuffing box and a flange, or it could also be using a mechanical seal and flange assembly. A couple other things to mention: the bearing life, the AFBMA L10 life on the output shaft bearings is greater than 100,000 hours in every case. And all of the other bearings in the drive are greater than 60,000 hours, giving you a long time of operation prior to any required preventative maintenance. So one other thing that we also offer with these larger drives is load testing. So pictured here is a load test stand, and this is a QA/QC service done with a new gearbox that gets built. It's in-house load testing at full speed and at full torque. And contact patterns are measured, temperature and vibration are measured, and the resulting report can give you, the client, peace of mind that this gearbox passed all of its operating tests prior to shipment and is ready to be used in its application. Some of the options that we offer with the 980 series of high torque drives is Lightnin Lube. Lightnin Lube is a ISO grade synthetic gear oil, and using the Lightnin Lube from the beginning of the startup of the unit will double the operating warranty for that unit. We also offer, as I said before, an external lubrication system. So that has an external cooling heat exchanger and filtration to make sure that as a belt and suspenders, you are taking care of your expensive asset and making sure that the process downtime is eliminated or minimized. Mechanical seals come in many different shapes and sizes. The mechanical seal cartridge for the 980 series can be a Lightnin style C cartridge. If you're not familiar with that, that's an internal bench testable cartridge built by Lightnin mixers. It can also be a Flowserve, a John Crane, and Eagle Bergman cartridge or canister type seal. It can also be nothing more than a single seal. All of those would mount on the pedestal below the gearbox, and they would all be maintainable without having to disturb the pedestal or the gearbox. And then finally, the motor compatibility. The unit is compatible with motors that are C-face, NEMA design, and also IEC frame design. Finally, or lastly, I guess, I want to share a little bit of information about our service centers. So the SPX Flow, Lightnin in Philadelphia Mixing Solutions has 4 service centers in the United States. So these are located in Rochester, New York, Delavan, Wisconsin, Houston, Texas, and Modesto, California. These are centers to rebuild and repair the entire SPX Flow product line, as well as competitors' drives where necessary. Some of the benefits of working with these service centers are the speed of service, the rebuild kits and repairs, access to exchange reducers if necessary, OEM quality spares, convenience, critical inventory storage, and to improve the availability and efficiency of our service offering. And we also have an authorized service provider network across the nation. This is a service provider who is authorized to support repair services based on their capabilities, the portfolio of SPX Flow mixing brands. So again, speed of service, OEM quality spares, and local support. So please think of the authorized service provider when looking at maintenance requirements or when you're not able to get to one of the 4 service centers located across the globe. Well, this ends today's presentation. I will now begin our question and answer session. Just a quick note, after we complete this webinar, all participants will receive a copy of the presentation and a questionnaire. Please let us know if what you learned today was helpful, and also if you have any criticisms or comments on how we can make this better. Your feedback is invaluable and is very much asked for. So again, thank you very much, and let's get on with the questions.
Hello, everybody. We have a small deck of questions here to answer, which I'm going to go through. But if anyone has any other questions, please take the time to write them in the chat, and let's get to them, because we have another 15 minutes or so to go before the end of the webinar. The first question that came in is what makes the 980 series better than the 700 series legacy units that Lightnin manufactures? Good question. And certainly, I wouldn't say that they're better as much as they offer different different solutions. So they're designed in the same manner. They have the same rugged features and capabilities in a smaller footprint and in an all helical gearbox design. So the differences are it's a smaller profile on top of the tank, so it can fit into areas where you may not have as much real estate. So if you've got a small nozzle or just a small area, but you have plenty of space up above, having that vertical motor can help you to get the footprint size down. The second question is why should I choose the 980 series over a commercial drive? Okay. I have a note here saying you can't hear me. Can everybody hear me now? I'm not muted. Okay, good. Okay, other people are saying we can hear. Thank you very much. Yes. Second question, why do you choose the 980 series over another commercial drive? Well, the biggest difference between a 980 design and a commercial gearbox design is that the 980 is designed specifically for mixer service and not for commercial service. What that means is that the low speed section, where the shaft and the bearings are needed to support the loads associated with a mixer. And what I mean by that is a long overhung shaft, a large impeller at the bottom of that shaft. Some of these mixers have a 25, a 30, or even 40-foot long shaft with an impeller at the bottom of that. Creates a lot of bending and a lot of loads that a commercially available gearbox may not be able to withstand, and it may not be designed for. So that's a issue that when you select a commercial gearbox, you may need to also select an alternative method of designing for that load. And then the other important point is that there is an integral true dry well in the 980 series that prevents oil lubrication from leaking down that low speed shaft. Much of the commercial gear drives are supplied, and that does lip seals. Seals are a wear part, does leak down the shaft if it fails. The third question we have is what applications can these products be used in? Well, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, these are used in high horsepower, high torque applications in the chemical processing and mining markets predominantly, but they can also be used in wastewater, in the air, like an aerator drive, and some of the other things in oil and gas, alkylation, hydrogenators, polymer reactors. That is the place that we're looking to use these agitator drives in. So high torque, possibly areas where you have a small amount of real estate on the top head of your tank, and anywhere that you need a lower footprint. The fourth question we have is why might you choose the 980 over a 700 series? So again, that's kind of the same as the last question that I just answered, where we are looking to push the 980 into a lower footprint and what am I trying to say? A lower footprint design, a more compact arrangement. That is where you may use the 980 over the 700. Another question came up from Justin. How does the price compare between a 980 and a 700? Well, that's a little hard to answer, but comparable torque for torque, the 980 will be slightly less expensive than a 700 because it is more compact. The motor is integral. It's integrally mounted to the gearbox. There is not a channel base, etc. So that's probably how they stack up. A couple other questions. How does it compare to a Falk parallel shaft gearbox? Or can it replace an 881 and 82? This unit is comparable in capabilities. I would say it's better in capabilities than a Falk parallel shaft gearbox of equal torque. It also has as I said, the advantages of mixer design instead of a commercial design and a true drywall. As far as the legacy 881 and 882 gear drives, yes, the 980 series can drop in to an 881 channel base or an 882 channel base and can replace that provided that the speed range is correct. So another question on the wastewater industry, specifically looking at aeration, how competitive are they? Well, if you're going to supply an aerator or you replace an aerator or put in a new aerator, you're looking for long-term payback of that investment. So you want a gearbox that's going to last for 40 years. It's going to be easy to maintain, and it's not going to fail. The 980 series is uniquely provided for those kinds of services and will deliver that kind of performance. And the last question so far on the list, does high torque mean high shear flow? And if yes, does it have a limitation in the bioprocess industry? Please discuss. Okay, well, high torque does not mean high shear necessarily. The shear rate that you provide is based on the impeller combination that's in the vessel. So the high torque design is a measurement of power divided by speed. That's your torque. So these devices are high torque, meaning high power, up to about 575 horsepower, 400 kilowatts. And they're running anywhere from about 25 to 125 RPM. So in the bioprocess industry, specifically for fermentation, these units will definitely provide a high shear design for, say, a fermenter or other dispersion type applications. Although it is definitely not a rotor stator. It does not work in those kinds of environments. I hope that answers those questions. Andre's asking, have we ever seen a gearbox catch fire? And I can honestly say, no, I have not. The gearbox, the Lightnin gearboxes and the Philadelphia gearboxes, generally, I would say they can fail mechanically. I've never, ever seen one catch fire. Is there any other questions from anyone on the line that you want to take these last couple of minutes to type in quick? Got a call from, or a question from Jason on 200 RPM. No, sir. The speed range is going to be roughly 25 to 125. It might go 150, but that's going to be the top end for RPMs. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for the time that you've spent listening, and I hope this was informative. Certainly, please fill out your questionnaires. Help me to understand if I did it well, if I did it poorly, and that way I'll be prepared for the next time. Got one other question. Is a VFD required in some applications? These units can run on a VFD. So whenever you need variable speed, absolutely, this can work in that application. So again, my best regards to everybody. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope you learned something, and you take care. We will see you again soon.